This is show 45 of the Cloth Diaper Podcast. Today I am joined with Meagan, and we are talking about cloth diaper rentals. How cool is that? I am interrupting my own podcast to share with you some exciting news. Over the past couple of weeks, I have finally finished my ebook. I've been talking to you about how I've been writing a book about how to cloth diaper, and it's now available on Amazon. So my book is called Cloth Diapers, The Ultimate Guide to Textiles, Washing, and More. And it breaks down everything you need to know about cloth diapering into super small, easy, digestible steps with tons of pictures and diagrams. We're going to talk about what is a snap, what is a gusset. We're going to talk about cotton. We're going to talk about bamboo. We're going to show you diagrams of how to do different folds, about rise settings, waist settings, all those little questions that you have. I have broken it down. I sent it to a few friends who had never cloth diapered, and I made sure that they circled things and told me what they were confused about so that I could break it down even more for you. This book is a really great for anybody who doesn't know anything about cloth diapering and is ready to start learning. It is all of my blogs basically put into a book format, but I'm hoping that this is an easy to read, easy to consume method of learning about cloth diapering. It's really straightforward. There's no judgment. There's no shame. I'm trying to make it as straightforward and welcoming for as many people as possible to help empower you and encourage you to choose the cloth diaper journey that is right for you. Because the one thing that I've learned over the last couple of years is that I, as an influencer or cloth diaper blogger creator, cannot tell you what is the right way to cloth diaper, but I can encourage you to find a path that is right for you. I am so excited that so many of you around the world have already started buying my book over the last couple of weeks. And the feedback that I'm getting just fills my heart with so much joy. I hope that you can find it. So if you search my name, Bailey Bowman, on Amazon, you should be able to pull it up and then you can read it. You can download it. It's part of Kindle Unlimited. And if you don't have a Kindle reader and you just have a smartphone, there are Kindle apps that you can download and then you can read and check out my book. I think that's about all that I want to share with you today about it. If you have any questions, slide into my email, bailey@clothdiaperpodcast.com. And now for the rest of today's show, which is about cloth diaper rentals with Meagan. Welcome back. My name is Bailey, and I am the host of the Cloth Diaper Podcast. I am a mom of two and a blogger. You can find my blog at www.simplymombailey.com or clothdiaperpodcast.com. The Cloth Diaper Podcast is a somewhat regular show dedicated to everything cloth diapering. We share stories with parents and retailers around the world about their cloth diaper's journey and story and history and everything they learn. Cloth diapering is not about one singular experience or one set of rules. Cloth diapering is about a much more global experience and how we all do things differently. I wanted to create a safe space online where we could start telling those stories and we could start sharing our experiences, not as a way to force them onto other people, but as a way to say, I wonder if that would work for me. This year, we've had a lot of really great stories like that. We've talked with Stacy and Rebecca, we've talked with Kate, and we've talked with Alicia. There have been many stories sharing many different perspectives on the cloth diaper story and journey. I have been so happy and so pleased to be able to bring this to you this year, and I hope that you have made some choices that really make cloth diapering work for you. I know that cloth diapering is overwhelming, and I know that you can feel lonely at times. But just know that you are doing your best, and just like motherhood and parenting, just make the best decisions that work for you. Don't let the trolls, don't let everybody else, the negative Nancys in your life, get in your hair. They're not good for you, and it's okay to set those boundaries and say no. Today's show, which I don't know why I went on that rampant, is actually about cloth diaper rentals. We haven't really talked about rentals. We've talked with a couple of cloth diaper service companies, and we have talked with a few other types of brands and retailers, but when it comes to rentals, we haven't. Cloth diaper rentals in the United States and Canada, they are few and far between, but they do exist. They offer an incredible service that can help you get started with cloth diapering. And I'm excited to share with you Meagan and her story and her product and her store and her brand and everything about using cloth diaper rentals. So I will let that interview or conversation, we just had it this May.
Oh, and hey,
record
quick
now.
ad.
If you stick around to the end, I will share a promo code for the month of July that Meagan has set up to get you started on your next cloth diaper rental. So that will be at the end, and we'll post it elsewhere on the internet too. So make sure you're following me.
Yeah, so I'm Meagan. I live in Wisconsin in the U.S. I live in a small town near Milwaukee. That's the closest large landmark.
Okay.
And I have 2 kids. I have a 3.5-year-old and an 8-month-old, and both have been cloth diapered. My 3.5-year-old is out of diapers now. So I started this business at the beginning of this year, which felt a little crazy because I had a 4-month-old when I decided to do this. So I don't know why we do that as parents, but when you're in the thick of chaos, I guess it makes sense to add more chaos to the mix. I don't know.
It's like a common story, especially in this industry, that people will just decide to do a lot all at once.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And so what is Cotton Bottom Babies?
Okay,
Diapers.
So Cotton Bottom is a cloth diaper rental service, and we also teach classes, so cloth diaper basics classes. And I found, so little backstory on me, I started cloth diapering with my first, and when I was pregnant, I went through all of those nesting feelings, but instead of like cleaning and organizing, I was just wanting to research everything. And so my nesting was cloth diaper research. And so it was crazy to never have considered them or heard about them even really, to then go down the internet rabbit hole and learn everything I could possibly get my hands on. So I was really well prepared to cloth diaper my son when he was born. And we had some pretty great success doing it. And I loved it. It was wonderful. And then he potty trained, and then we had our second. And when I was pregnant with my second, I also had that research bug and just that feeling of just wanting to do something more. And so I started teaching cloth diaper basics classes at a handful of places in the Milwaukee area.
Ooh,
just educating
fancy.
Parents on, it was great. There's a local community center that opened their arms to me and hosted classes. There's a birthing center that I teach at. Another community organizing group that I work with. So that's really cool to be able to teach on a. Oh, yeah. Well, Milwaukee's pretty big, so we have a lot of. It's like, so the greater Milwaukee area is where I teach, and kind of all different. There's also like a mom and baby boutique store that I teach at. So these are great relationships that I've formed with these businesses, and they love hosting classes because it gets people into their space and also helps their customers learn more about cloth diapering. So it's a win-win. And I just love teaching it. I spent months writing the class, doing a ton of research. I feel like I wrote a book, but I didn't. And I guess you probably know what that's like, huh?
It's a lot of work. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure your research is way more in depth than mine. But I just really loved learning about all of it, and then turning around and teaching everyone. And being involved in all the forums online, and, lots of different groups where parents are talking about cloth diapering. And I noticed a trend with my students, and also with people, in groups online, saying that they wished they could just borrow or rent newborn-sized diapers because their kids grow out of them so quickly, and they're such an investment. It's hundreds and hundreds of dollars, even if you buy them used. So I was like, somebody should do this. And I realized some people are doing it. There are a handful of businesses, mostly cloth diaper retailers, that offer rental programs around the country, but there's nothing in my area or really in my general, in the Midwest. So I decided to start offering rentals, and that's where we are now.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people, myself included, would often think, oh, this thing is lacking. Somebody should do that. And then you have a moment where you're like, that somebody is probably me, right? That's okay. And I'm trying to think, I know I've talked to a couple other rentals. There's a couple services, but you're not a service. You're just renting?
Right. We are not a laundry service. We rent diapers to parents so that they can learn how to wash their own diapers with our support. So they have the opportunity to rent multiple brands, styles, different materials, get a feel for what they like. And also we write a customized wash routine for their specific washer and their detergent of choice and work with them on, the best ways to wash their diapers. And then once they're done with their rental, they return the diapers to us, and then they're ready to purchase their own for the long term. So we offer newborn sized rental packages. That's like our specialty. We have multiple varieties of packages that people can choose from. But we also have a one size package, which is a shorter term rental. It's only for a month, and it's kind of designed so that parents can still use disposables part-time, but kind of get their feet wet with one size cloth diapers once their baby's a little bit bigger. And again, we teach them how to wash. So we have two mixtapes. We have the newborn mixtape and then the one size mixtape. So the mixtape package is multiple, all the different styles that you could possibly get your hands on. And then lots of, different brands sprinkled in there and different materials so that they can try it all, figure out what their preferences are, and then go on out into the world. We release them like a butterfly and they're able to cloth diaper successfully. And we also offer ongoing support for however long they cloth diaper. They can always text or email in the future, even if it's 2 years from now. And they're like, I'm thinking about buying this stash of used diapers. Is this a good deal? Do these look like they're in good shape? I consult people on stuff like that too. So that's really important to me to offer that ongoing support because, as you know, cloth diapering has a bit of a learning curve. There are a lot of bumps that can show up along the road that people kind of just get too overwhelmed and they, I hate to say they give up, but they do. They have to set cloth diapering aside for the best for their family, but they shouldn't have to. They should have support and someone there for them. So that's me.
Yeah, having those safe people to fall back on is super important in this industry. So you don't just serve Wisconsin or the greater Milwaukee area. It says here you can ship anywhere in the USA.
That's right. Yep. Anywhere in the continental US. And most of our clients are here in the area because they have, found us through local organizations and stuff like that. But I wanted to make it available to everyone throughout the country just because why not? If I have the inventory available, I might as well, be able to send it anywhere. So I didn't want to limit myself to, we only serve people within a, 20-mile radius of Milwaukee or something like that. So we haven't had any national clients yet since we're brand new. We're just getting started. So I've only had a couple of local. Yeah, I would love it. So,
what was I thinking here? Yeah, because we have, and this is the hard thing about rentals, is rentals exist, but they're not very well known at all. If services exist, people probably know about services a little bit more, but they never, they think it, and then they never really know to go through it. Because I know we have a rental in northern British Columbia as well, which I could probably say maybe 20 people know about. Okay, probably more. But, you bring it up in conversation and people be like, oh, that's a cool idea. Why didn't I ever think that could be some business that somebody would have and exist? But it is, and you're not the only one. I can think of a few other brands in the United States that offer rentals and in Canada. But you are serving everybody, so people just need to know about you here, don't they?
Yeah. And it's really difficult when you start a business to become visible. There's a lot of tricky stuff when it comes to SEO and social media, and I'm not a big fan of like baiting followers and paying for followers to try and get myself
doesn't
seen.
even work
I really
anyways.
want it to happen. I know, it's so silly, and it just kind of it just makes me feel yucky. I just don't like the idea of that. So I really want it to happen organically, which means it's probably going to be a pretty slow process. But I just want to. It's important to me that I'm able to support people in the community. And, if nothing else, I always joke with people that I started this business, with not with really an intent to make any money. It was just so that I could help people cloth diaper. And if I end up, being able to support my family in some way through this business, that would be wonderful. But I really just want to help people. I want to spread the word and make it accessible for everyone. So that's,
If anybody is listening, that's also the unfortunate truth of the cloth diaper industry. Is that a lot of people are just providing a service, and there's not a whole lot of financial gain at the end of the day. And I would urge my listeners to be, gracious in there, like not super demanding.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of expectations, and then they're like, people are just making money off me, but that's not really what this industry is entirely about. Not at this ground level kind of small business approach. So is there a risk of a rental? Like what are the risks? It kind of sounds scary. Like I would be worried that I would, I don't know, ruin a diaper.
Sure. Yeah. So there is a contract that my clients sign so that I always joke with people, if you run over a diaper with your car 8,000 times, you'll probably avoid the contract in some way. But there's not a whole, don't use bleach, don't use fabric softener. There are these obvious rules that we follow as cloth diapering parents that, I would expect my rental clients to also follow, but it's really not, I don't see much risk involved unless you somehow lose a diaper, or I don't know. You would have to do something really silly to kind of mess up the contract.
As I said that to myself, I was thinking, it's really hard to destroy a diaper. Like it takes a lot of bad washing to actually, like, it's not, you don't just wash it once and it falls apart. Like that should never happen, right? It takes a lot of intentional work to destroy a diaper.
Yeah, well, and these diapers are made to last through multiple children, through hundreds and hundreds of washes. They're durable little things, So I feel like, like I said, someone would have to really work hard to ruin a diaper and have it, mess up, because so my clients have to pay a deposit so that while they are borrowing the diapers, if anything does go wrong, then, obviously that deposit would be taken out. But I've never had an issue with that. Everyone's really, really careful and they do a great job. They come back looking exactly how they did when they left. So that's great.
So what is the investment into a newborn rental package? And what does that really kind of get you for how long and all that jazz?
Sure. So I really wanted to make sure that I was offering enough diapers. I think a lot of rental programs, it's maybe, 12 to 24 diapers, which is something good for people to do super part-time or wash very, very frequently. But I'm the kind of person, I'm a once a week washer. So I'm a pretty big advocate for that. And so I wanted to include as many diapers as I could physically give someone. So we do 32 diapers, which is in my mind almost a full stash. I prefer, personally, I have 36 to 40 in rotation
for
so
newborns,
that I can wash once per week.
Yeah. And
for newborns, newborns definitely, they need more, they need more diaper changes per day. So a newborn rental package includes 36 diapers. You get them for 8 weeks, 32 diapers, and you get them for 8 weeks, which is usually, it depends on how big the baby is when they're born, but usually they grow out of a newborn diaper by about 2 months. And it really depends, how old they are when they start the rental and how much they weigh and all that stuff. But I think 8 weeks is a good chunk of time. And then depending on the package, there are 3 different options in the newborn size, and they're all a little bit different in price, but it works out to as low as $16 per week, which is well below any laundering service that I've looked into, and definitely, on par, if not below, disposable diapering. So I wanted to keep that as low as possible so that it was comparable to those options. And
so I get disposable diapering pricing varies just as much as cloth. So if I get 20 cents a disposable, and we're going through 12 a day, that's $17 a week. So it's comparable.
Yeah, absolutely. And some people spend $30 a diaper, or 30 cents a disposable diaper. It really depends. And some people are buying huge boxes at Costco and they're, 15 cents a diaper. So disposable diaper prices are really hard to nail down. So I tried to just, do kind of the average and try and stay below or on par.
Yeah, and a lot of people will cloth diaper for reasons beyond the financial incentive. So it's also, I think sometimes we get caught up in the cost analysis, but really, there's a lot of other really great reasons to cloth diaper.
Yeah, totally. I mean, my main reason was environmental, and it's really nice to save money with cloth diapers, but anytime we've had to switch to disposables, like when my first son was 8 months, we moved and didn't have a washer and dryer right away. So we used disposables for about a month. And the amount of diapers in the garbage was it blew my mind, because I had been cloth diapering for 8 months. So I had never really experienced, I used disposables here and there throughout,
but when you have to do it,
we use
24/7, it's suddenly, wow.
Yeah, it's wild. I know. It blew my mind. And just to think about, everyone always talks about this with cloth diapers, but to think about all the people in the world, all the disposable diapers that have ever been thrown away, it's just mind boggling. So that's my main reason, for doing cloth diapers, and saving a little money is great too.
Yeah.
I think for our rental specifically, the support that they get during and after is really unique and special. I think, there are a lot of social media groups that you can join where you can request a wash routine and someone will give you a wash routine, and that's really cool. But I think knowing the person and having one-on-one conversations and contact with them throughout your washing and throughout your cloth diapering journey is special, and I think really valuable. I wish I had that in the beginning. And some people may rent and, do a great job and then they're off on their own and I never hear from them again. Or some people might have multiple issues down the road that they want help with, and I'll be there for those people. So I think that's definitely the number one benefit. And I also think, everyone always says, make sure you try lots of different styles, lots of different brands, buy a bunch of different diapers and figure out which one works best for you. That's great. But then you're buying a bunch of different diapers and maybe only 60% of them are actually going to work for your family. Then you have to resell or, just hold on to these diapers that you never needed. It kind of defeats the purpose of saving money and saving the environment, because you're, buying something that you're not using. So
it's the hardest piece of advice, because it's I meet so many people who buy a type of diaper and it fails for them. But then, exactly, it's so overwhelming when you have so many options. And I'm on your website now, cottonbottomdiapers.com. And you have, for my listeners, if you guys you can go to cottonbottomdiapers.com. But the pictures here, is that fairly accurate about what kind of mix you're going to get? That's a really great mix.
Yeah. So between the three packages, there's the mixtape package, which is, all the different brands, styles, materials. And then there's the all-in-one package for newborns. So for parents who just don't really want to learn different kinds, they just want a simple, straightforward option. There's that all-in-one package. And then there's also the old school package, which is the most affordable one. And that's just, pre-folds, flats, fitteds, kind of bringing you back.
Cute.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. So the pictures that are, those pictures are really accurate. I actually laid out actual rental packages that were being sent out. And I think they're, a really great mix of things. With my experience, I have tried everything except wool. I have never tried wool. I always tell my students that I can't ever claim that I've tried every cloth diaper, because I just haven't had a wool cover to use ever. So that's on my list of things to do. But other than that, I've tried everything. I have a really big collection and a really diverse collection, I think.
Yeah. There's some really great assortment. And that's, I've people who have tried rental packages, but anybody who I've ever seen online talk about rental packages has always just been like, really enjoyed the experience. Like it's been a really good experience. And if you guys are listening, like to purchase 32 all-in-one diapers in a newborn size, like that's easily $400, $500, right? And that can be
depending
really
on the
overwhelming.
brand.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of my newborn collection is all a lot of really high-end premium newborn diapers. So yeah, if you were going to buy all of those brand new, it would be hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
And my child outgrew newborn diapers in like 6 weeks. So it was a very stressful experience for me. And they're born so tiny, like they're born too tiny for one sizes, and some kids will just grow and some kids won't. Like Caitlin from Modern Bottom Babies, similar. She has the really little babies, and her babies are in newborn diapers for like 4 to 5 months. So it's such a unique experience that rentals really do seem to give a little bit of that edge off of if you needed to rent longer for 8 weeks, if your baby stayed small, could you?
Yeah, absolutely. We do offer extended contracts. So especially for the one size package, I think that's going to be pretty popular to extend, because if you borrow them for, it's a 4-week rental. And if people just want to do another month, it's a really small fee to just keep them for an additional 4 weeks or an additional 8 weeks or whatever. So yeah, we definitely offer that. And I think it's also important to think about the fact that newborn diapers, if you are going, like you said, you're going to spend hundreds of dollars on brand new ones. But, if you rent them, you're paying, a quarter or a third of the cost of what it would be to purchase them. And a lot of times, people want to invest in newborn diapers because they plan on having multiple children and they'll continue to use them through all those kids. And I think that's great. I think they should go for it. But some people don't discover cloth diapering until their second baby or their third baby.
Or their fifth baby,
Yeah, exactly. Or they did cloth with their first, but they didn't do newborn diapers. Now they want to try it with their second. So it's a really great option to rent so that they don't have to, buy and then resell all those diapers later.
Yeah. And you could go out and you could buy used diapers for a cheaper price, especially for newborn babies, but you're not going to get that support. And you also don't get that, I don't know. When I buy diapers on the internet, I've been burnt so many times that it gives me a bad taste in my mouth. So it's really reassuring when you can find a deal per se and know that there's going to be the quality and they're going to last for you. And if they don't work, that we can call you at Meagan and be like, hey, this is going on. You can't do that when you buy a used diaper. And it's harder to work with brands when you buy used products as well. Like, because you're the second or third owner.
Right. Yeah,
one-to-one experience is really helpful. I think this mixtape package is definitely the one to do, would be my recommendation. I just think people should try a little bit of everything so that they are aware. And like, if you you won't know you hate fitted diapers until you try a fitted diaper. And you won't. And all-in-ones, I love these newborn all-in-ones, but to me, my kids always max them out. So when you have a mixed package, you can have that kind of perfect. But a lot of people will thrive with an all-in-one, right?
Yeah. And I always include with all-in-one packages, I include some little mini boosters that people can pop in them. Because, like, for example, a little Joey is like the tiniest little thing. And it fits newborns for a pretty good chunk of time, but they start out peeing them before they ever grow out of them. So I got these, I think they're Ragababe, I'm pretty sure. I just scored some used ones and they're tiny. They're almost like mama cloth. They're really little. They're only like 8 inches long and they fit perfectly inside a little Joey. They're like perfect for them. So, and also I like to include, at some point we're going to be doing like a cloth wipe rental or purchasing situation as well. But I still like to include a couple of cloth wipes because those can be used as extra absorbency in a newborn diaper as well. So I think that's something, that people will definitely appreciate once their babies start out peeing those little teeny tiny ones.
This is a really cool. Okay, so I think that,
Thanks.
and you serve all of the United States. And if you guys are listening and you're not in the United States, Google is a good friend. Also, Facebook groups. Like if you ask in your local spaces, do you know, somebody will usually be able to name you, right? Like businesses lurk in those groups, because I know here in Canada there's like there's two businesses on each side of my province who do rentals, and if you just ask, usually you'll find out about them, right? Because it is a lot of work for businesses to become SEO and show up on Google.
Yeah, that's such a mystery for me. It's weird, and the amount of, I'm sure you know, the amount of time that social media takes, and I do actually really enjoy that aspect of the business that I wasn't even, when I first started it, I hadn't really even thought about how that was all going to work, and now that I'm doing it, it's really fun to be creative. And I was an art major, and so I'm just like, I love photography and I love, staging photos and stuff. So that's kind of an added bonus and kind of a fun thing to do, and to be able to interact with people and tag different brands and have them, feel the love. I think that's really fun too.
It's just finding balance to not let it overwhelm your life.
Right, exactly. Well, especially with 2 little kids at home, it's like, you find yourself like, I just got to finish this post. And then you're like, okay, put the phone down, let's make dinner. It's like, it's a full-time job, I always say.
So you started this business this year.
Yeah.
So how has COVID impacted you, or has it impacted you?
I don't know that it's impacted us yet, except that maybe we don't have a ton of clients right now because people aren't spending money right now. Mm-hmm. I think, for us, we're it has affected my classes. I can't teach classes in public right now. So that's kind of a bummer, because I really enjoy doing that. And I think that's also a great way for my business to become visible in this area, is people, learning about my business when they take my class, which, they're not connected in any way, but I always do mention like, hey, I do this on the side if you want to do this once your baby comes. But I think, I offered like virtual online classes for the month of April for free to celebrate Earth Day. So I did a handful of one-on-one virtual classes, which works, but the idea behind a cloth diaper class is that you're there in person. You get to touch and, play with different diapers and see them in person, see what the fabrics look like up close and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of hard to do online. I think that's probably the biggest impact I've felt, is just not being able to be out in the community. It's something I really love doing, and I'm hoping sometime in the near future to get a cloth diaper bank rolling, just a little mini one for my area. I've had a couple of families donate gently used diapers to me, so I'm holding on to those, and I'd like to do a diaper drive at some point, but we can't do that until we are able to go out into the world again. So I'm just waiting. I guess
you got some time to plan.
Yes.
And I mean, starting a business rental related, like, what's that one thing of advice that you wish everybody knew? Maybe you do it in your classes.
Yeah, I think there is a lot of obvious advice that we hear over and over, like what we talked about, like try all the different kinds, and, make sure that you use the right detergent and all this. There are a lot of stigmas, and I feel like if people don't sweat the stigmas so much, they can have more success. Like, it's okay to use disposables part-time. It's okay if you use Tide detergent that's full of synthetic fragrances and whatever else. It's okay. I just feel like there's a lot there. While the community is very positive and uplifting most of the time, there is a lot of opportunity for people to feel bogged down and overwhelmed by all the advice and all the like mini stigmas within the community. So I just always tell people, don't sweat it. Like, do what you need to do what's best for you. And the biggest thing is find somebody that can help, whether it's some sort of online forum or someone like me in your community that you can actually call on the phone and talk to about what you need help with. It's cool to be able to offer help to people, and I want them to take advantage of that. So I don't be afraid to ask for help, and don't be afraid to do what's best for your family when it comes to cloth. Those are my 2.
I have really been shocked lately by a lot of stigma in the community. Like, of course you can be a cloth diaper parent and disposable diaper. Like, don't let those, you don't have to be a stereotype.
And you also don't have to be brand loyal. You also don't have to pay $30 for one cloth diaper. Like a lot of people are, maybe embarrassed that they can't buy, really expensive all-in-ones for their stash. And it's like, it's okay to buy some $6 pockets and some $30 or all $6, whatever you can afford. Yeah, whatever you're comfortable with. And I also wanted to mention, I love the way you're doing the flats and hand washing challenge. I think not that, not having, like you said, there's, not having so many rules, or there are kind of guidelines to follow, but I think having it more open and even more accessible to people, I think is really awesome. And I'm really excited to participate this year.
Well, this will probably record afterwards, so we'll have this after the challenge. But yeah, it will be really interesting. It was really fun. I'm hoping to see a few more stories come out this year on the Flats Challenge, just because I really do. I've participated for the last 3 years, and I just always was like, there's no way somebody could do this full time. And I think we have to stop that conversation that like full time. And I think like if I was struggling and thinking about my mom's journey in diapering, I was like, there are definitely times of the month where, if you were just hand washing diapers for 1 week to survive, that's awesome. Right. And then, you can use other times of the month when you do get money to get disposables or to use the laundromat. And we should really be having these more like layered experiences. And we should talk about these layered experiences. And definitely the more people that I've talked to on this podcast over the last almost 3 years, definitely beginning to see all these different layered experiences, especially within other cultural groups. Definitely something I need to work on, finding more cultures to talk to, but they've got some really cool experiences out there.
Sure, yeah.
That's about it. It's been half an hour. It's been over 30 minutes, Megan. Did you have anything else you wanted to add? I guess I should add, where can we find you on the web?
Sure. So you can go to our website, cottonbottomdiapers.com, and then we're on Facebook and Instagram at Cotton Bottom Diapers. And come join us on Instagram and Facebook, and just reach out, whether you're local to me or super far away in another state. I'd love to chat with people and help as many people as I can.
Yeah. And she's got, it's cottonbottomdiapers.com. It's super easy to type in, guys. All right, and Megan forgot that she has a promo code for you guys. So if you want to try out a rental, you can use podcast15 at checkout at cottonbottomdiapers.com and save 15% off your rental purchase through the end of July 2020. If your baby isn't due until the fall or winter, you can also reserve your package in advance. Or if your baby is already here, feel free to reach out, and she would love to accommodate you if you heard about her here on the podcast. So again, you can use code podcast15 at checkout until the end of July 2020 at www.cottonbottomdiapers.com. That's Cotton Bottom Diapers. I don't know who Cotton Babies is. I know who Cotton Babies is. That's a big brand as well. That's why I'm getting all mixed up. Thank you so much for joining me in this conversation today about rentals. I hope that maybe you consider rentals in the future as an option for you to use with your cloth diapering family. If you enjoy listening to the Cloth Diaper podcast, be sure to, like me, follow, subscribe, and leave a review if you enjoy this show. Thanks so much for listening, and until next time, bye.